Magistrates in North London have begun dealing with summonses brought by Brent Council against hundreds of its residents for non-payment of council tax. Since April this year, benefit claimants in many parts of London, previously exempt from the tax, have been required to pay a proportion of it. But as our political editor Tim Donovan reports, at least 3,000 households in Brent haven't complied.
You are an utter disgrace to the Labour Party.
A small protest, but a hard time given to the council's leader as he came to court this morning.
They are suffering because of this government. They are suffering because this government has taken away £104 million from me.
Fight back on behalf of the people you represent.
Brent had summoned 512 people to appear today. Only 22 showed up. Met by council staff inside here, most of them agreed to pay the council tax they owed rather than appear before magistrates. This woman was one of them. She didn't want to be identified. Though she's on benefits, from April she was expected to start paying some council tax, £13 a month. She managed a couple of months' payments, but says she just couldn't afford it. Then came the court summons.
Surprising, heavy-handed and unnecessary, unreasonable. Because if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Where's the money coming from? I'll have to rebudget my finances, limited as they are, and just work it out.
In April, the government made councils responsible for administering council tax benefit, but it reduced the money available. These 6 London boroughs decided it wasn't worth getting benefit claimants to pay any council tax. But the majority of councils, including Brent, have started asking for money. In its case, 20% of the normal council tax rate. So in a Band D property, around £272 a year.
We say no eviction!
The 490 people who didn't show up today were issued with liability orders, which means they will have the unpaid council tax automatically deducted from their benefits and will have to pay court costs too. One charity advising people here today says it's harsh.
Ultimately, they will end up with an extra £120 worth of costs on top of the council tax, which they already can't pay. So the situation is just being compounded. This is the sort of thing that drives people into the arms of payday lenders.
But the council's leader says the government's cuts to his budget give him no choice.
We're only asking for a small proportion to be paid, and I'm willing to take the payment over a longer period of time rather than 10 months. Now I'm doing it over 12 months for those individuals. And I'm also trying to freeze the council tax, which I've done for the last 4 years, right, so that they don't get hit by an increase in council tax payments as well.
But for the government, it's about vital welfare reform. And the Department for Communities said that making councils responsible for council tax benefit would encourage them to cut fraud, promote local business and get people into work. Tim Donovan, BBC London News.